Welcome to SATV News. This is Riaz Mahmood with our headlines. JAXU result announcement begins after 48 hours. No irregularities in voting. There may have been few minor mistakes, says the JAXU EC. BNP's goal is to establish people's democratic rights, says Salahuddin. Those pushing for immediate constitutional reforms have different intentions. Former Nepal Chief Justice Sushila Karki is sworn in as a Prime Minister. Dr. Yunus congratulates new Nepal interim chief. Now in details, the announcement of results for the Jahangirnagar University Central Students Union, JAXU, and the Hall Union elections began around 5:15 p.m. today. The result announcement began with Al-Biruni Hall Union. The Hall's returning officer Miraj Rahman Khan announced the result. The announcement is being held at the Senate building of Jahangirnagar University. Candidates, students gather at the venue for the much-awaited result of the JAXU and Hall Union elections. Before announcing the result, the JAXU Election Commission said there were no irregularities in the voting, though there may have been some minor mistakes. Manual vote counting for the JAXU election finally concluded today, around 40 nerve-wracking hours after the counting began. Meanwhile, academic activities at Jahangirnagar University will remain suspended tomorrow, but the undergraduate admission process will proceed as scheduled, according to a notice issued by the authorities today. All classes and office activities will be suspended and previously scheduled exams will be postponed, said the notice. The announcement came 3 days after voting concluded in the JAXU election. However, the admission process for first-year undergraduate students for the 2024-25 academic session will continue. The relevant offices will remain open and teachers, officers and staff involved in admissions will be present. The notice signed by JU Acting Registrar ABM Azizur Rahman also stated that classes and office work will resume as usual from Monday. However, previously scheduled final exams will remain postponed. BNP Standing Committee member Salahuddin Ahmed today said his party's goal is to establish the democratic rights of the people. BNP's goal is to establish the democratic rights. The state has been put on a track at the cost of much bloodshed. Now it needs to be given a constitutional and legal framework. The will of the people and the mass uprising of 2024 is to establish people's rights, he said. Mr. Salahuddin made the remarks as the chief guest at a roundtable discussion titled Future of Democratic Bangladesh, Thoughts and Expectations of the People. The roundtable discussion was held at a hotel in Gulshan. Mr. Salahuddin also said some reforms are necessary to hold free and fair elections along with the goodwill of the political parties. The parties may have differences, but they must be tolerant of each other, he added, calling upon all political parties to maintain anti-fascist unity. He said the anti-fascist national unity that was forged after the July uprising will be the sole political force of our state, and this force must be upheld. Even if we have ideological differences, political strategic differences, or election-related issue-based differences, we must maintain this anti-fascist national unity. The BNP leader further said that those who are pushing for immediate constitutional and other reforms have different intentions. Sushila Karki, a former Chief Justice, became the first woman to lead Nepal as she took the oath of office as interim leader on Friday after violent anti-graft protests forced Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to resign. President Ramchandra Paudil's office announced Karki's appointment following negotiations between Paudil, Army Chief Ashok Raj, Sigdal and the protesters who led Nepal's worst upheaval in years. The only woman to have served as Chief Justice, Kauki was the preferred choice of the protesters, who cite her reputation for honesty and integrity and a stance against corruption. She held the top judicial post for about a year until mid-2017. 51 people were killed and more than 1,300 injured this week in the anti-graft protests by the Gen Z movement. Chief Advisor of Bangladesh, Professor Muhammad Yunus, has extended his heartfelt congratulations to Sushila Kauki on her appointment as the new Prime Minister of Nepal. In a message issued today, Professor Yunus said, "On behalf of the government and the people of Bangladesh and on my own behalf, I extend my warmest congratulations to Your Excellency on your appointment as Prime Minister of Nepal." He described Prime Minister Kauki's assumption of office as a significant moment, stating that it reflects the deep trust and confidence placed in her by the people of Nepal during a particularly challenging period. As a long-standing friend and a neighbor of Nepal, we are confident that under your capable leadership, Nepal and its resilient people will continue to move forward on the path of peace. The national election will be held on the scheduled date next February, said Shipping Advisor M. Shakhawat Hussain. He also said there will be accountability in a political party forms the government. He said this after inspecting various development works of the Ministry of Shipping in Borishal this morning. He said that the foundation stone of the Mirganj Bridge will be laid by next December. At the same time, the 6-lane road in Borishal will be completed quickly. He further said that the work on the railway will also start. In addition, the advisor assured that the traditional steamer service will be launched by next October. The Bangladesh Meteorological Department has forecast light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind at many places across the country over the next 24 hours. Light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at many places over Rangpur, Mymensingh, Chittagong, Borishal and Sylhet divisions, the BMD said in a bulletin. Besides, a few places over Rajshahi, Dhaka and Khulna divisions may experience similar weather, it added. The bulletin also warned that moderately heavy to heavy rainfall may occur at some places over Rangpur, Mymensingh, Chittagong and Sylhet divisions. The BMD further said the monsoon is fairly active over Bangladesh and moderate over the North Bay. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 রবার্টস লেন, সিঙ্গাপুর 218302। ফোন 0065 629 24900। বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো 80টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms. sophisticated fine dining restaurant, crystal clear swimming pool for ultimate relaxation, modern gym and serene spa for well-being. Perfect venue for corporate events, weddings and parties. Seamless and secured, elegant and eye-catching design. Indulge, relax, discover the first 5-star chain hotels in Bangladesh. Grand Palace Hotel Dhaka, 22 Kakrail, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Welcome to Grand Club at Mirpur 10 Dhaka. Elegant spa and wellness facility for ladies and gents. Play pool and snooker in international standard billiard zone. World-class gym facility with exclusive equipment for man and
Clauses of the declaration endorsed by this resolution, there is not a single mention that Hamas is a terrorist organization, Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesperson Oren Marmorstein said in a post on X on Friday. The United Nations General Assembly on Friday overwhelmingly voted to endorse a declaration outlining tangible, time-bound and irreversible steps towards a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians ahead of a meeting of world leaders. A resolution endorsing the declaration received 142 votes in favor and 10 against, while 12 countries abstained. The vote comes ahead of a meeting of world leaders on September 22 on the sidelines of the high-level UN General Assembly, where Britain, France, Canada, Australia and Belgium are expected to formally recognize a Palestinian state. The declaration endorsed by the 193-member General Assembly condemns the attacks against Israel by Palestinian militants Hamas on October 7, 2023, which triggered the war in Gaza. Meanwhile, thousands took part in a pro-Palestinian march on Saturday, New Zealand's biggest city, Auckland. Some 50,000 people attended the March for Humanity rally in central Auckland on Saturday morning, the Aotearoa for Palestine group said. However, New Zealand police estimated the attendance at 20,000, adding there were no arrests at the march and that roads along the route were being reopened. Aotearoa for Palestine spokesperson Rama Rata said it was New Zealand's largest march in support of Palestinians since conflict broke out in Gaza. Organizers, motivated by a march that shut down Sydney's iconic Harbour Bridge in August, wanted to close a major city bridge with Saturday's rally, Rata said, but were forced to abandon those plans on Friday due to strong winds. A young Utah man suspected of killing the conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a university forum has been taken into custody, Governor Spencer Cox said on Friday, ending a two-day manhunt. The suspect, identified as Tyler Robinson, had confessed to a family friend or implied that he had committed the murder to that friend, and that person in turn contacted the Washington County's Sheriff's Office on Thursday. A family member interviewed by investigators said Robinson had become more political recently and spoke in a disparaging manner about Kirk, Cox said. Robinson was taken into custody on Thursday night, about 33 hours after Kirk's murder, FBI Director Kash Patel said at the press conference. Kirk, a close ally of U.S. President Donald Trump, was killed by a single bullet as he spoke on stage at an outdoor amphitheater at Utah Valley University on Wednesday. Trump called the shooting a heinous assassination. French President Emmanuel Macron announced Thursday that he had decided to send 3 Rafale fighter jets to help protect the airspace of Poland and Eastern Europe. The planes were sent east along with personnel handling equipment and ammunition and were operational on Friday, the French armed forces said in a statement. With the support of aircraft from its NATO allies, Poland shot down suspected Russian drones that had violated its airspace on Wednesday, a first for an alliance member country since the start of the war in Ukraine. NATO on Friday launched an operation named Eastern Sentry to bolster the defense of Europe's eastern flank in response to Russian drone incursions into Polish airspace earlier this week. Russia and Belarus continue on Saturday a major joint military exercise that will involve drills in both countries and in the Baltic and Barents Seas, the Russian Defense Ministry said. The Zapad 2025 exercise, a show of force by Russia and its close ally, is taking place at an exceptionally tense moment in the Russia-Ukraine war, 2 days after Poland shot down suspected Russian drones over its airspace. The exercise was scheduled well before the drone incident took place. The objectives of the drills are to improve the skills of commanders and staffs, the level of cooperation and field training of regional and coalition groupings of troops, the Defense Ministry said on Telegram. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Thursday that the drills, including near the Polish border, were not aimed against any other country. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said the country will present a policy of jointly advancing nuclear arms and conventional military might during an upcoming key meeting of its ruling party, reported state media KCNA on Saturday. While inspecting weapons research centers on Thursday and Friday, Kim said the 9th Congress of the Workers' Party of Korea would put forward the policy of simultaneously pushing forward the building of nuclear forces and conventional armed forces in the field of building up national defense. The North Korean leader also on Friday oversaw a shooting drill by North Korean sniper units, KCNA said. The flurry of domestic activity by Kim follows his Beijing visit earlier this month for his biggest international multilateral event and meetings with leaders such as China's President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin that raised his international profile. In Colombia, excavators dug through loose mud in an attempt to free 7 miners who remain trapped in a collapsed mine in Cauca. The trapped miners have been underground at an approximate depth of 28 meters since Thursday after a landslide caused the illegal gold mine to collapse, local media reported. Family members gathered at the side of the mine pleaded for more help from the authorities. Locals in conflict-ridden municipalities such as Cauca mostly depend on illegal mining to make a living, exposing themselves to risks, reported local media outlets. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. JAXU results announcement begins after 48 hours. No irregularities in voting. There may have been few minor mistakes, says JAXU EC. BNP's goal is to establish people's democratic rights, says Salahuddin. Those pushing for immediate constitutional reforms have different intentions. Former Nepal Chief Justice Sushila Kauki is sworn in as a Prime Minister. Dr. Yunus congratulates new Nepal interim chief. You are updated with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.